side. But anyway, welcome everybody to season 3 of Indigo Worship Live. We are so excited, and what a season kickoff we are having tonight here on Facebook Live, as well as to our YouTube watchers that are coming in and will be coming in. Welcome to season 3, and we are really excited for what is going to happen tonight. We have the incredible opportunity to welcome my brother, the one and only Grammy Award winner, Jay Morris, on his release of Meditations Vol.3 that will be coming out and dropping on all places where you get music tonight at midnight, which is the 17th of February. So Jay, let the party begin, man. It has been a year and a half, to say the least.
Yes, it has.
So how are things going? How has this process been? And what are you feeling? What are you anticipating tonight?
All right. Well, first, thank you for having me on. Am I coming on clear?
Yes, you are.
All right, great. So it's great to be here. I've been so blessed in these last. Lord has blessed in my family during this pandemic, and it is meditations time. It gave me even more time, especially when churches were shut down. It gave us even more time to just sit and just pretty much not do anything and just think about some of the different aspects of what I could do to better uh, this particular meditations. What could I do different that would not only inspire but more give a different take on something that is as organic as meditations is. So, and I'm just so glad to be on this platform sharing with you guys. Thank you for having me, Patrice, who's a wonderful manager, by the way.
Oh,
So, but it's good to be here.
our hands have been tied so much during the pandemic. So for people to the last time I think people experienced you live when we were doing the release back in March of last year
Yeah, yeah, and we
for
had our
Meditations
show.
too.
Yeah, we had our show. It was a Thursday night,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember it well. It was a Thursday night. We had our show. I left school early and had the show, and then the very next day is when they shut down markets. Or markets were totally uh, with people. It was just like people everywhere buying up toilet paper, buying up different foods, and
Mm-hmm.
it was just pandemonium all around. And that very next day, it was just like, wow, like some folks could not make it because of, they were at the market and they were still in line for 4 hours, just trying to buy different foods and stuff for their family. So, but it was still a great night. We had some great guests there, and it was still a great situation.
Absolutely, absolutely. And here we are, still in the pandemic,
Hmm.
but Meditations 3 has been birthed. And a lot of people who don't know, for those of us who know about Meditations Volume 1 and 2, let's lay a little bit of groundwork as to how this series even became a reality for you.
Well, I've always been a student of the art of meditation, the art of trying to relax and let your mind think about nothing. Musicians and artists in general have some of the most, uh, if dare to say, we have some of the most run around minds. Our minds are always moving.
Mm,
Our minds are always thinking about something. Our mind are always on a piece of music of something. It became a challenge at first, but I made myself sit there and for 5 minutes a day think about absolutely nothing,
mm,
just to let my brain get a piece of peace.
wow.
Uh, we're so used to, and so much goes on in our lives. We're so used to thinking about something that is it's actually hard. You should try it sometime. Try to just sit there for 5 minutes and not think about anything. It's very difficult, and it's something that you have to train your mind and your body to do because even if you um, think about nothing, you'll have an itch. Gotta scratch it. Gotta
Mm-hmm,
get your
mm-hmm.
mind on that itch. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
or your nose, you have to blow your nose or something. Or it's just our minds are just not used to being recalibrated, and it's not used to just not doing anything. And so I had to make myself uh, just relax and chill and just really just listen.
Hmm.
And so that's when it came to me. I do so much music. I'm in gospel. I'm in R&B. I'm in neo soul. I love jazz. I'm into classical. However, um, I need something that's going to appeal to me and what I'm doing right now. And what I need is something where I can just close my eyes and be somewhere else.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so um, at that time, it was even so bad to where I could not sleep because my brain would be going 100 miles a minute. And so I learned how to just, play before I went to sleep, and I would just play, and that would tire me out. And so I
Mm-hmm.
said, well, you know what? I wonder if somebody else would enjoy this. Uh, Maybe if I play just some random piano, and people love nature. I love nature. I love when it rains.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love the cabin in the night and the grass. You hear the blowing of the grass and the wind. I love the sounds of the night, sounds of the frogs, the sound of the crickets.
Mm-hmm.
I love the sound of the crackling of fire, different things that would make being and put you in a relaxed state of mind.
Got you. Yeah.
And so that's where meditations actually was birthed, because I wanted to do something different. I mean, it's easy to make a CD where I just did random things on the keyboard or did songs, but I wanted something different for me, because that's just not what I wanted to do right now.
Well, for me, meditations, when we were finally got together and decided we were going to even do the listen event for meditations, um, that volume 2, even though it was, a very emotional one, but it came in right as the pandemic was about to start. Now, who knew we were going to be in a pandemic? None of us knew. But one of the things that we did find out is a lot of people really were blessed by the music itself.
Mm,
And they were blessed by the fact that um, in the noise of everything that was going on, because you would think, well, we're in a pandemic, so everybody's home now. But now there's worry of a different level and a heightened level. You're worried about the safety of yourself, you're worried about the safety of your family, you're worried about your job, what's going to happen with school, all those other things that come on, and people were getting ill. Hundreds, yea, thousands of people are dying from this, during this pandemic. And so the stress and worry of everything happening, um, a lot of people found solace in putting meditations 1 and 2 on, like you said, to quiet the noise of what was going on in everyday life. So um, I'm really excited for the opportunity for people to really get to hear what the Lord has given you and was gifting you to do, to share through volume 3 of the series. So now let's talk about volume 3. Exactly how did you structure that and develop that one for the next one in the series?
well, let me ask you a question, Patrice. Do you happen to have the first one I did, the first
I do.
meditations? Do
I
you
do.
happen to have it on tap right
I,
now?
I do.
Okay. I wanted to just give people maybe just a minute of fire and melody, just so they can hear where I came from and what I was thinking.
Hmm.
I just wanted to play a little bit of that one from the first one, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Can we
So
do that?
now, is it my choice to which one we play, or
No, that's fine.
okay?
Whichever one is your favorite, that's fine.
Okay. Um, and as we're doing that, so tonight, let's talk about the release of this. Tonight's at midnight.
Tonight at midnight, Meditations 3. And I wanted people to see. the growth and how different Meditations 3 is from what people are now used to, and how much better Meditations 3 is going to be.
Would you really want to say better, or is this different? Because
I would say,
a lot of people are still loving Meditations 1 and 2.
well, when I say better, I mean it's to me, it's different, and it's better because you can hear the growth. And even though you love it, even though people love it, that's fine. It's Meditations 3 may not appeal to everyone, but Meditations 1 may be still the favorite of some, and that's
Mhm.
fine too. But for me, as you guys will hear, Meditations 3 took me out the box,
True.
literally. And it took me to another time and place where I had to do something different. I had to think about different things for Meditation 3. So I'm really proud of all three projects. They're great projects, but as any artist, you want your next project to be even better than the last. And my prayer is that Meditations 2 people enjoyed that
Hmm.
as much, or even more than Meditations 1, and hopefully Meditations 3, they'll say, wow, he really took it there this time. I feel his heart on this one.
Okay.
I feel his heart on all of them, but I can
Hmm.
see where he really did dig in the line on this one.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to let's try Jay's thoughts.
Okay.
Let's see. And that was Jay's thoughts from Meditations Volume 1. That's one of my favorites on there, along with
Yeah,
the Tibetan
awesome.
Winter. I, we're living in the Northeast corridor of the United States, and so we've had snow on top of snow.
For
And
sure.
I even playing this in the snow, it just like it makes it even colder. But I love snow and I love cold. No disrespect to those who love summer, and I know you're out there. So, but give us our time. But anyway, it's still beautiful.
Yeah.
2 years later, it's still a beautiful project. But you're saying that there's a maturity and growth process that's happened since volume 1,
Hmm.
and I want to do. Let's take a step, if it's okay, to take a step into volume 2.
Hmm.
Um, though that is more, an emotional one
Yes.
for a particular reason. But I really want to listen, play with Piano by My Window.
That's fine. Piano by my window was, as you said, yeah, it was a little bit more emotional, but uh, it allowed me to grow a lot. And so I hope that you hear a little bit of the growth in Piano by My Window from Meditations 1.
You know, Jay, that is still a beautiful piece. Now, you know, as you're hearing, I mean, you've had a chance to be with this music for a long time. So even tonight, as you're hearing it again, you know, through this platform in preparation for Meditations Vol.3, we're going to play a couple of selections off of that new album. What are you thinking as you're hearing it right now?
The first thing I'm hearing, to be honest with you, is wow. If I was asked to play that over, I could not play it over again.
Wow.
One of the hardest things to do, especially as a true creative, is to mimic an emotion.
Hmm.
One of the things that made Aretha Franklin so great, but also complicated to work with in movies, was the fact that she could not sing the same song the same way twice. So they had to keep retaking it until they got something that was comparable that they could be able to use, because she would always do something different. It's hard to fake real emotion.
Hmm.
And in my music, it's real emotion. So everything that I'm playing is not rehearsed. It's literally what I am feeling at that time, and literally what is being brought, just like a writer. You
Hmm.
know, when a real writer writes, they write what is on their emotion, what is God speaking at the time, or for R&B, whatever they're feeling in their heart at the time. Some of the most heartfelt songs are songs that are written on a whim. Why? Because they're real. Nobody wants anything fake. Nobody wants anything that, you just had to just, try to manufacture. They don't want manufactured emotion
Hmm.
for music. And a lot of our music today is manufactured emotion. I didn't want to put that inside one, and especially two. Everything that you hear in both of those are songs that I had to listen to over and over again in order to get the right one that I actually liked.
Hmm.
And um, if I made a mistake, I just made a mistake, and it was there. So I didn't try
Hmm.
to change too much, because that was what I was feeling.
Well, in its pure sense, it really still has and resonates, at least within me, and I'm sure with everyone that's had, purchased Meditations 1 and 2, and I've heard even excerpts from it, it still resonates that same feeling of calmness. I've kind of sat with this for a while myself, obviously, and they're just keystrokes that you make in certain parts of the songs that I just know that's coming, and that same feeling of just that deepness of not just peacefulness, but also taking to me to a place of healing, really in a place of healing.
Mhm.
So you definitely accomplished the mission with Meditations Volume 1 and Meditations Volume 2. But
Awesome.
now, here we are,
Here we are.
Meditations Volume 3. And let's set the table for Meditations Volume 3, because now you have taken us on a totally different plane, and dare I say, out of this world.
Yes. Well, you know, during the pandemic, I was afforded the chance to take a few classes, and one of the classes that I took and passed, mind you, was a class on music wellness, music for meditation. It was called Music Wellness, Music for Meditation.
And that's a real
And
program.
oh yeah, it was at Berkeley. It was at Berkeley, and it was a
Bless you, sir.
yes, it was a paid course. It was not free, but I
Mhm.
wanted to learn more about my craft and what I was doing. I didn't just want to play, um, notes.
Mhm.
I wanted it to be a feeling behind it and why I wanted those notes to be played at the time. What am I trying to get people
Mm.
to feel from what I'm playing? And I noticed that yeah, I had a lot of it right, but there was a few things that I needed to know about how music affects not only um, the emotions but the brain.
Mm.
And so I wanted to just
Unpack,
share.
unpack it, unpackage that a little bit. How
Yeah,
does it, yeah,
I
unpack it.
wanted to just share a little bit of how um, we have something called our frontal lobe, and our frontal lobe uh, is analyzing the music and giving us the information, telling us what piece of music this is or who might be playing. Then we have another lobe called the parietal lobe, and it allows us to sense our hands on the instrument. So it's not only the feel of what we're playing and what we're listening to. It's all our brain is calculating all these things, us listening, us feeling, and us playing. So I all these things are working while I'm playing, and I didn't realize all of this until I actually went to classes, and they told me this is why you play
Mm.
what you play and why people feel the emotion in what you play, because they're feeling that sense of touch. So when you say, James, you hit certain notes that resonate with me, well, it's because there were certain notes that I hit that were resonating with my emotion at the time.
Okay.
So my fingers automatically did that,
Mhm.
but even still in packing, um, it affects the brain. We have our autonomic nervous system, which regulates our breathing, controls our heart rates, regulates digestion. When we listen to meditation music,
Mm.
there's different things that happen. You know, we have what was called our sympathetic system in our brain, which is the mechanism that deals with stress and chronic stress that comes from being in a state of threat.
Mm.
You
Okay.
know, so but this is why meditation is so important. So making this music is not only for your listening pleasure, but also to heal, to
Wow.
help heal,
Wow.
to help de-stress, to get those neurons firing, You know, those neurons that you don't usually use because you're so excited about something else, or you're anxious about this, anxious about a bill, stressed out at work, different things that are happening. You know, these are the things that happen when you listen to music. So
Mhm.
it affects our brain in many different ways. And we have different listening segments, you know, and one is called active listening. It's listening to a song, and it could be something very simple. How many of us have listened to a mantra or a chant that just changed the way we feel?
Hmm. Okay.
Certain songs just can do that. So you know, I could go in deep with it, but I won't go too far.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
this is part of what I had to learn in dealing with um, writing and creating meditation music. There's certain frequencies that the brain needs to hear, or certain frequencies that your emotions can feel that change your attitude. You know, you ever notice if you're in a car, you're listening to a upbeat tempo, you're liable to more likely go faster,
Yeah. Yes. On a regular.
and you really don't mean to do it,
Yeah.
but you'll think you're doing 55 and you're doing 70. But because that up tempo fast song, it just got you so you don't even realize you hit the gas
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
too much. But
Yeah.
yet, when it's a nice slow piece or a slow worship, and you're really into it, you tend to kind of slow down the car a little bit. You kind of tend to
Mhm.
just mellow out, and you don't, you're not as anxious.
Got you.
That's what music does. This is the way it affects our brain. Up tempo songs, it just makes you move. But then
Hmm.
there's other songs that make you feel. Some songs make you feel horrible. Some songs make you think about life.
Hmm.
Some songs make you think about love. Some songs take you to another level, you know, emotionally.
Yeah.
So it's just, and some songs, you know, I'm sure you have, everybody has that one song that puts them directly in worship, just like that.
Yeah.
You know, the music, the tone of the music, the tone of the words, the writer who wrote it, the way the song is being sung. These are all characteristics of why we feel what we feel in emotionalism and listening to music. So, you know, I just hope I gave you a little bit of something, you know.
No, absolutely. Because I think one of the things that a lot of people, I think they unconsciously knew,
Hmm.
but to have a more clinical way of explaining exactly how music can affect the brain and your mood, and particularly with how you have developed with the meditation series to allow people to quiet the noise of the day,
Hmm.
be it at work or be it at home. And of course, a lot of us are home. So we
Hmm.
have different stressors now where before we know spouses could go to work, but now they're working from the same house. The kids used to go to school, but now they're in school in the same room that you're trying to work at the other desk at. So this stressors have come in a different way. So by incorporating this into a place of just relaxation, and we say, that church quote, so that woosah, like ah.
Hmm.
I'm going to actually remind you of something that you said when we were talking about meditation. I think it's meditations too, well, either one or two. Um, that I know what it was now. When you were assisting in one of the classrooms in Delaware, where in the
Hmm.
state that you live in, and you played the music in the classroom where it was kind of noisy and a little bit chaotic, and something happened in that room when you started playing it. Can you go into a little bit more description of what happened in that room?
Well, I played a piece of my meditations music, and you know, um, I work at a school, and a lot of times the kids get disorderly, and the place that I work in, it's very disorderly because they send the disorderly kids to me, and so I keep meditations on tap
Hmm.
because I play it all day long, you know. And so what happens is the kids will come in, and you know they'll be unruly for a little bit, but then after a while, when they finally sit down, they'll be like, "Mr. Morris, what's that? That sounds really good."
Hmm.
And you know, we hear that music calms the savage beast, and it really does.
Mhm.
It just
Now that,
does
now that we're
something.
not calling our precious babies beasts, but we know what you mean.
No, no, I'm not calling the
Yeah.
babies
Yeah.
beast.
Yeah. I know that.
I'm just making a statement
Yeah.
that music can even calm
Yeah.
those emotions. Because kids nowadays are not like kids, 20 years ago. They're able to cuss you out now and not get in trouble. They're able to fight. They're able to get things out that they would get in trouble for back in the day. So it's different now. And
Mhm.
you deal with a lot more in kids emotionally
Mhm.
than you did back in the day. A lot of people didn't care about autism 20 years ago. They didn't know. They just thought, okay, it is what it is. But now you have a different mode where you're like, wow, we can help.
Yeah.
We can now help because we realize what it is. It's not just, oh, just passing to the side. No, actually, sit down, relax, listen to this,
Mm.
take a load
Mm.
off.
Mm.
And so now you have kids that are trouble, got kicked out of class, that now are coming into the classroom and saying, Mr. Morris, this sounds good. Can I stay in here? Well, you can't stay in here, but it's just to
Yeah.
it's just to calm you down, just to relax a little bit, just to take your mind off of whatever's stressing you out. We don't want you to be, all riled up. I can't play, heavy metal because that'll keep them going.
Yeah.
But if I play something that'll just calm them down and relax, and it has to be um meditation music, because jazz they may not understand.
Correct.
you know on classical they may not understand. But it's something about just calming water, calming trees,
Mhm.
that just puts people in another mode. And it may not do the entire job for me, but it'll help.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to talk about, before we play our first song for Meditations 3, because I know that's what people are waiting for. That we want to hear the project. We're talking. We want to hear the project. Um, do you want to talk about exactly how you came up with the what we're about to hear, or you want to explain it after we play the song?
uh let's play the song first.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think we are going to play Event Horizon, which
Hmm.
is the one of the songs that's on Meditations Volume 3.
Hmm.
And enjoy.
Hmm.
and that was Event Horizons on Meditations Volume 3 of the brand new album that will be coming out tonight at midnight on
Mm-hmm.
wherever you purchase your music, Apple, Google Play, Spotify, wherever you download and purchase music, it will be available at midnight tonight. Now, let's talk about this particular song because I'm hearing some very interesting sounds in here that are not your usual sounds. So let's talk about where some of these sounds coming from, mixed in with your beautiful keystrokes with this music.
Well, we serve a big God, and God has not only made the water, the trees, and um, the animals that we love to hear at night, but He also made the stars. He also made the moon. He made the sun. And one of the Easter eggs of this particular project is everything you're going to hear on this project are sounds from outer space, are sounds from the cosmic realm. And I know some of you are saying, but James, that's odd because space doesn't have a sound. It does have a sound. Space has a lot of sounds, actually. Our ears are not built to hear them naturally. So what you just heard is the reason why it's called the event horizons because they include the sounds from our Milky Way. What you just heard was the event horizon is called it's the space and time continuum right before you hit a black hole.
Hmm.
And a black hole is it's a big hole inside space that it is known that if entered is gone forever. Whatever is swallowed up inside the black hole is gone in another universe of time.
Wow, that's incredible.
Somewhere at but everything that
That's incredible.
everything that so our Milky Way, it goes in circles surrounding this black hole. And so the gravity of the black hole is so huge, it's so massive that it just eats everything in its path. So if you're in this event horizon, you know, as of course you be you can't go there,
Hmm.
but this event horizon is so bright because and the only way we know it's there is because there's a black hole that's right there, and black holes are invisible. You can't see them,
Hmm.
but the only way to know that they're there is through stars because the stars are circling around it. So these beings are doing exactly what God made them to do. They're praising him through what he made them to do. And they do make a sound. Well, how did you get that sound,
I
James?
was just going to ask you that.
Well,
Just going to ask you that.
even though our ears can't hear it, scientists sent up a few satellites. One is the Cassini. Because scientists sent these satellites up 30 something years ago, as they pass, one of the satellites has uh, our a record, a golden record of all our sounds on it. It has some songs on it, but they have another that has a microphone. So even though our ears are not able to hear it out because you can't breathe in space, there's no sound in space.
Hmm.
There's no sound waves in space. There are radio waves in space. However, with the microphone picks up whatever it hears or whatever it is listening to. So even though you may not hear sounds, what you're hearing are radio waves
Hmm.
of the event horizon. And so even though at the cost of our wonderful satellite,
Hmm.
it didn't
Hmm.
come back,
Okay.
but it was able to gather the sounds from the event horizon. So everything that you are hearing on the event horizon is the circling of that big mass inside our Milky Way over and over. And God says he holds the world in the palm of his hand. And I think we need to just sit back again and say, wow, God, you really are big.
Wow.
I thought you were big because I was looking at the trees and the ocean itself, but wow, you really are huge. And our Milky Way, just our Milky Way, just our galaxy, is 100,000 light years. So that means the speed of light travels at 11 miles per second. Per second now.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredibly fast.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it even at the speed of light, it takes 100,000 years just to get from one end to the other end of our Milky Way.
Of just our Milky Way.
Just our Milky Way. That's just our Milky Way,
Wow.
our galaxy. 100,000 years, and our Earth in that big, 100,000 year galaxy is a tiny speck in that
Wow.
whole galaxy.
That is amazing. Now, this Cassini satellite that you said that well, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
So it was able to record and transmit it. So we currently have satellites that are still doing the same thing, just really recording those sounds of, like, the sounds of the Milky Way, those sounds of the universe, which is so like incredible
Hmm.
that we never really do think that, this the universe makes sounds. Particularly, like I said, even within the quarter of our universe, that sounds are happening. And the fact that you have such an interest in that and utilize that as part of this album to take us outside of not just the terra firma of this planet, but take us outside of the planet and really experience the soothing sounds of the universe is absolutely just beautiful. I can't think of any other project that I can think of that will necessarily be relaxing or meditative that has done that. So, I really applaud your excellence and your diligence and wanted to make sure that you were not just, faking it to try to make it,
Hmm.
but you really took the time to educate yourself on the healing process of music, but also utilizing nature, all of nature, to bring that soothing effect to everybody that will be listening to the project. So, for those of you tonight, it will be dropping midnight tonight on all the digital platforms. So I know you're going to support this project, and I know a lot of you. I could see this if you have a little child and they're kind of acting up, or you want to have that quiet time before they go to bed, just to put this on. And what a great way to have a conversation with them about the stars of the universe and just
Hmm.
the majesty of the heavens. And it can open up an amazing opportunity of dialogue, but also music appreciation as well. Um,
Speaking of music, as you see, I'm wearing my Music Is t-shirt.
Look at that
So
segue. See how we
yeah,
do? This is how we do.
yeah. Speaking of music, as you see, music is, and
Mhm.
whatever music means to you, we have. You can pre-order your T-shirt for $25, or you can order your, hoodie. I like the hoodies more for me. Hoodies are $45. So if you want to wear your meditation, it has my name down there, J Mars Meditations. So but feel free to contact us to order your t-shirts and hoodies. But so we do have merchandise.
That's awesome because we didn't have it for Meditations 1 and 2, but now we have it. So
Yes.
what a great gift.
Hmm.
We should have talked about a bundle, but that's another discussion for another time. But anyway, we're going to give you an opportunity to hear another selection, Meditations Volume 3, the brand new album, Brand New Baby, birthed
Hmm.
by Grammy Award winning Mr. J Morris. And this one, okay, Supernova.
Okay, got that. This one. Okay. So supernova. Now, if you don't know what a supernova is, um, it's basically a star that has died, um, that turns into a black hole.
Mm,
But this star now, even at the speed of light, it takes our sun 8 minutes to reach us. So most supernovas are not near us. most supernovas are 40, 50,000 light years away. So the light that we receive from them, we see it as it is 50,000 years ago, because
Well,
that's how long
wow.
it took for the light to get to us. Now, mind you, that supernova more likely doesn't exist anymore,
But the effects of it,
but
we're
the
getting.
effects of the
Wow.
light still
Hmm.
came finally to us.
Wow.
So there are stars out there that we have seen, um, that were literally, um, from the creation of time. But because it's so far, most of those stars don't even exist. They're not even there. But
Mm.
the light took so long. So supernovas is like, just like our sun will be a supernova one day. It will grow and grow until the helium runs out, or hydrogen runs out in it. Once the hydrogen runs out, it will begin to implode
Mm.
and turn into what they call a supernova, spinning over and over, hot gases, hot gases. So this this was caught by Voyager 1,
Mm.
from
That's
NASA's
awesome.
Voyager 1. And of course, at the loss of, our Voyager, because the Voyager is still traveling. Now, the Voyager is still alive and well, but it's still traveling. It will never return to Earth. It
Oh, that's
will,
crazy.
yeah,
That's
it will never
crazy.
return to Earth. It's done.
Okay.
It's done. But they sent it on a one-way trip, and wherever it is right now, I explain where it is later on in the broadcast. But right now, these are the sounds from when Voyager 1 uh passed by a supernova.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be listening to Supernova, which is another selection of the track on the Meditations Vol.3 album that's dropping tonight at midnight on all your digital platforms. So here we are, Supernova by Grammy Award winning Mr. J. Morris. And that was Supernova from the upcoming release tonight for Meditations Volume 3. Jay, I have a favorite every time I listen to it. So it's a different one. So tonight is Supernova. It is absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I want to encourage everyone that's watching tonight to support this project, share the information about this project, as well as share this YouTube link as well, and let people and have an opportunity to hear um, this amazing, gifted musicians bringing incredible music to help us soothe and to heal our hearts and minds, particularly not just in the pandemic, for everyday, just everyday situations. What a great way just to relax and chill and just quiet the noise of everyday life. Um, as we are talking about Meditations Volume 3, just a reminder that Mr. Morris is wearing an incredible
Yeah.
shirt here. Music is,
Hmm.
and he left it blank. And the
Hmm.
reason why you left it and was created blank is why.
Is because you can, music means so much to everybody. Whatever music means to you, you can put right there, or just leave it blank. Depends on how I'm feeling that day. So I left it blank because music is whatever I'm feeling that day, and music is, something different to everybody. So
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And they can acquire that merchandise and apparel where?
you can reach out to me personally through or Patrice. Patrice to get in contact with me. Reach out to Indigo Worship. You can reach out to Patrice, and she will contact me, and we'll get you straight.
Absolutely, they will get you straight. So as we're closing out and going towards the end of our interview tonight, because we want everybody to get, we're not going to play all the songs tonight. We want to give you a taste of what you will be hearing and
Hmm.
even more incredible music on Meditations Volume 3. Um, and this is a great way to sort of come towards the end and kind of park our interview tonight. Journey back to Earth.
Mm, you
Let's
know,
talk about that.
well, one of the things that you'll find on this project is we visit a few planets in this project, and you really have to um, get the project yourself to really appreciate and hear everything that's in this project. Hearing it on live stream is nice, but you really need to put your headphones on
Mm-hmm.
and really just vibe out. You really have to just take it all in because it's so much to hear when you listen to the sounds that God created. These are sounds from uh, the Almighty Himself, the sounds that He has created for the cosmic universe. And so, it's amazing to me. It's such an honor to have this. So, like all good trips must come to an end. This is the trip that I call back to Earth,
Now, but
journey
now,
back to Earth.
now, do you have an idea what satellite recorded some of the sounds that you're hearing on this particular song?
Most of them were Voyager 1, Voyager 2, and Cassini.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's mostly three satellites that were put. They don't have a satellite every 10 years. Most satellites every 20, 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so because they take so long to build, and it takes so long for them to get to one place, like um just to give you a quick analysis, um our closest star that you see in the sky, our closest one is, if think about where you live right now, it doesn't matter where you are. Think about where you live, and from your destination, imagine an ant, A-N-T, traveling from your house to Paris. And then that is one fourth of the distance that it would take
Mm.
just to get to that star. An ant traveling at its pace from your house all the way to Paris, France is a fourth of what it would take to get to that star. So when they launch these satellites are not just, oh, we're here in 6 weeks. No,
Hmm.
these satellites sometimes take 10 years to get to one place,
Wow.
like literally.
Wow.
And they're traveling amazingly fast.
Hmm.
But because our universe, I don't think a lot of people are aware or even care how huge our universe is. And I showed you a picture, I think a few weeks ago, Patrice,
Hmm.
of how minuscule the Earth is in the whole scheme of things. As big as the universe is, we are a mote of dust
Wow.
hanging in a beam of sunlight,
Mm, mm, mm.
literally in God's hands.
Yeah.
That's all we are, a small dot.
Hmm.
And I showed you that picture where the picture took from all the way where it was, and then we were like a little a little speck.
Hmm.
But everybody we love, everybody we know, everybody we did know, everybody we read about, all saints, sinners, historians, kings, queens are from this one small speck in the universe. And so that, I hope I had a chance to really entice your mind about this project, and how I thought about how I wanted to just show how big God is
Yeah.
in this project, that you really can't fathom the sounds and the different, and I didn't even catch all of them that I wanted to catch, but there's just a few of the sounds that you're going to hear on this project. So I hope you enjoy um, the journey back to Earth.
And that was Journey Back to Earth from the upcoming album that will be released tonight at midnight called Meditations Vol.3 in a series of the meditation series. Jay, I have to tell you, I know I've listened to it over and over, and we've talked about it, but just hearing it and just being in your presence and talking about it and sharing it with everybody, it is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful project. Um, I'm in awe, and I'm really speechless, and I genuinely am.
Well,
There-
could you imagine yourself in a spaceship going from the moon, passing the moon back to Earth? And if you notice, once you got back to Earth, that's where you started to hear the rain come in at the end,
mhm,
because now you've reached back to Earth.
mhm,
And
mhm.
so I hope that everybody got a chance to enjoy that small journey, and hopefully will enjoy the project.
I'm sure they will. And everyone, please, tonight, midnight, be sure to be the first one to download and support this project. It is absolutely beautiful. And I would encourage you as well. I know, Jay, we've talked about this before, but this is such a great way, once again, of relaxation. So, if you're reading your scriptures, or you just want to meditate, or you want to have something to stretch and have that quiet place, or, if you got a yoga studio, or you just have to make a yoga studio in your home, just to put this on and just to decompress from the cares for a short amount of time. It really does help to reset. And just sitting here and listening to it myself right now, I'm just feeling so relaxed and chilled. And since I got the whole project before everybody else, I get to hear it all over again. But still, it is absolutely wonderful. So if you're a mom with little kids, what a great way to put this on, because a lot of kids are homeschooled right now, and just to have that playing in the background, I think you'll notice a difference. And I'm going to put this challenge out here for those of you who are parents and homeschooling. Uh, do a test. I'm not saying just particular this project, even though we want you to support it and get it, but even meditations 1 and 2, see what the atmosphere is like in the room, or if your teachers and you're back to school, in the classroom when you put this on, and let's see, if we can put that science to an actual test of how it really kind of helps to calm the atmosphere and bring peace into the environment. So Jay, congratulations. We're excited about what's ahead, and we'll be talking about meditations more on other platforms as well. But anything you want to share before we sign off?
I just want to say thank you to everyone who, thank you in advance to everyone who has and will support this project. Thank you to those who have supported my other two projects. Thank you. I really appreciate all of your support, all of your kind words, testimonials of those that had trouble sleeping, those that had restless days, and was able to put this on and clear their mind. Um, I hope that this takes you to an even better level. And for those that are, want to know and are asking, because it has been asked, yes, this is natural as well. These sounds are all the same sounds that the same God made on earth. So it's an all natural project. It may be a little different than what you're used to, but everything that you're hearing on there is still all natural sounds. And uh, my personal favorite is definitely Jupiter. You're going to hear Jupiter, sounds of Jupiter on the project. We're not going to play it tonight,
No.
but you're going to hear the sounds of the the big planet, the big brother to the Earth, the one that takes all the comets and the
Mm.
one that takes all the asteroids. That's like our big brother. It takes a lot of our punishments for us. I ain't gonna go there. That's a word right
Okay,
there. That'll preach.
okay,
But
absolutely.
that's what Jupiter does. Jupiter is right in this in the perfect place where it catches a lot of the asteroids that would otherwise obliterate Earth. But
Wow.
God put it in the exact place and it rotates. So you will hear the rotation. So I hope that you enjoyed this session tonight. And my prayer is that you will be able to heal, to rest, regenerate, revitalize, all of that, and that this music, this project will do that for you.
Absolutely. And there's a special surprise on there, but we're not going to say what it is, but you have to get the project to get that special surprise. And I
Mhm.
was told by Jay, no, we'll let you guys get it and you'll hear it and you'll know. So anyway, to everyone that's been watching with us tonight for this live listening event and the beginning of season 3 of Indigo Worship Live Show, thank you so much for supporting. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules and evenings to spend an hour or so with us tonight and celebrate Jay and the gift of music that God has given to him. So for those of you who'd like to follow us here on YouTube, we're on our YouTube channel, Indigo Worship Live Show on YouTube, as well as on Indigo Worship Live Show on Facebook. And you can follow us on Instagram at official Indigo Worship, as well as Indigo Worship on Twitter. So you've got all of our social media handles. You can follow Jay at Jay Morris and also at the Morris Music Group on Facebook. So shout out to Mrs. Morris, you're one of your biggest, who's your biggest fan,
Mhm.
and your kids for their support and their patience while you're putting this project together. So everyone, have a wonderful night, and we will see you amongst the stars. God bless you.